Hey, NC fam, how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing amazingly well. If you're new here, hi, my name is Novella. I am the founder of Naturally Crowned UK, and I help moms to confidently care for their children's natural hair so they can create new generational cycles. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're watching the replay, if you have a question, just put it in the comments and let me know what your question is. And also let me know where you're watching from. If you're joining this live, let me know where you are tuning from as well. I love seeing where you guys are tuning in from. Okay, so this evening's live is all about your why. Your why. Why are you on this natural journey? Why? Why are you doing this for your little one? Is your why strong enough? Is your why strong enough? Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. Is your why actually strong enough? Why are you doing this in the first place? Why? Why do you watch my videos? Why have you tuned in tonight, this morning, this afternoon? Like, what is your why? I want to know, mamas, what is your why? Why are you on this natural hair journey for your little one? Why are you doing it? Let me know in the chat. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. Welcome coming in. If you just joined, the topic this evening is your why. What is your why? By the way, let me know where you are watching from. What is your why? Why are you even on this natural hair journey for your little one? Now, let me share something with you. So, for me, and you can go next. For me, my why is it's very deep rooted, very deep rooted. And I'm going to explain to you. Good evening, ladies. Come on through. So, what is my why? Why am I even on this natural hair journey for myself and for my children? I'll give you a backstory. So, the main reason why I went natural was for my children, in all honesty. That's the reason why I went natural. I got a perm when I was 16. I'd always wanted a perm when I was younger. I actually really disliked my natural hair growing up. I had wanted a perm for the longest, but my mom, she would not allow me to get a perm. But I wanted a perm and I wanted one real bad. So when I was 16, my mom finally agreed for me to perm my hair. Now, at the age of about 23, yeah, about 23, I was 23. I had one thought one day. I said to myself, one day you are going to have children and you're going to tell them that they're beautiful. You're going to tell them their hair is beautiful, but yet you don't like your hair. You hate your hair, your natural hair with a passion. And that's the main reason why, obviously, I perm my hair. And I didn't want my children to ever feel how I felt growing up. I don't want them to, look in the mirror and feel like their hair isn't good enough. I don't want them to, not love themselves, not love their hair. I want them to, love themselves, love their hair unapologetically. So that was the main reason why I decided to go natural for my children. I wanted to create new generational cycles. I wanted to change their hair story. I didn't want it to be anything like mine growing up. So that is my why. Basically, in a nutshell, that is my why. So sometimes when I get messages from moms. They say to me, "Oh, how are you able to stay so consistent? You have your natural hair to deal with. You have your three children. If you don't know me, guys, I have three kids. They all have natural hair. Like, how are you able to do this? Like, how are you able to stay so consistent?" This is why. This is why, because my why is deep rooted in creating new generational cycles. Just making sure that they love themselves unconditionally, love themselves unapologetically. This is the reason why I go so hard. This is it. And I've realized that in life, if you don't have a strong why, you're pretty much not going to succeed at whatever you're doing. You're not going to succeed. Like, for example, take Naturally Crowned UK. I am dedicated. I am passionate about what I do. And that's because I have a bigger why. My why is strong. Why am I doing this? Why am I on YouTube? Why am I even on this live right now when I could be sleeping or doing something else? The reason why I'm on this live, the reason why I go so hard for my business, the reason why I share so much on my YouTube, on Instagram without feeling any way is because of my why. The reason why I'm doing this is because as I was growing up as a child with, my natural hair, as I mentioned before, if you're just joining mamas, I hated my natural hair. I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't want to see it. I just didn't want nothing to do with my natural hair. And the main reason was because my mom, she didn't really know how to care for my hair. Now, my mom did the best that she could with what she knew, um, but she didn't really know how to care for it. And because of that, wash days was very painful for me. A lot of tears, um, a lot of frustration for my mom, a lot of frustration for me. And because of that traumatic experience growing up, that's the main reason why I hated my natural hair. Now, I'm not going to put all the blame on my mom. I didn't have much representation around me. Back in those days, there wasn't much. And my mom herself, she had permed hair, she had straight hair. My aunties, my grandma, like every person around me, everyone that I love, they all had straight hair. So that's what I wanted. And to be honest, my mom, she always told me my natural hair was beautiful, but I just didn't believe her because I thought to myself, if my hair is so beautiful, if my natural hair is so great, why are you not natural? Like I just didn't believe what she said to me because I didn't see what I saw was straight hair. And that's what I thought was beautiful. I thought once I had my relaxer, once I had my hair permed and straightened, I would be beautiful. I would be more confident. And of course, that was a big lie. But that's what I thought when I was younger. So I go so hard for my business because I don't want any mother to feel the way my mum felt. I had a conversation with my mum actually a couple of months back, and I was just asking her how she felt when she used to take care of my hair as a child. And she said that I always used to make her sad because she could see that I hated wash day. She could see that I didn't enjoy the process. And of course, because she didn't really know or understand what she was doing, she felt bad. She felt like she had failed because she didn't know what she was doing. And that's quite sad. And I didn't want that for myself, for my children either. So that's why I go so hard for what I do, because I don't want any mother out there to feel like they have failed because they don't know how to care for their child's hair. I don't want any mother to feel frustrated, to feel overwhelmed just because they don't know how to do their child's hair. So that is my why. That's why I'm here tonight when I could be sleeping, because I don't want you to be that mom, basically. I want you to be that mom who is confident in caring for their child's hair, confident knowing what your child's hair need, confident knowing that, what you're doing is working. And because it's working, your little one's hair is thriving. And because of that, your little one loves themselves, loves their hair unapologetically, and you have changed their hair story and created new generational cycles. So that is my why. What is your why? So mamas that are on the live right now, let me know, what is your why? Why are you even on this live watching me? Why do you watch my YouTube videos? Why are you trying to care for your little one's hair? Like, what is your why? Let me know in the comments. Why are you doing this? Why are you on your natural hair journey? Why are you on this journey for your child? Let me know in the comments. Why are you doing this? Let me know. And for those who, you feel like your why isn't strong enough, um, I hope your why will be strong enough eventually, because trust me, this journey isn't the easiest. It's quite tough, and it can be quite tough sometimes. It can be frustrating at times. But when you have that why that is strong, that's where you find that you're not going to give up, even on the days when you're not motivated. Because of that why, you're going to keep going, because you know why you don't want, you know to fail your child on this journey. You know why you're doing this, and it's not just about length. You're not just doing this because you want your child's hair to be long or to be healthy. Yes, that is a bonus. By doing everything you're supposed to be doing with their hair will retain length, their hair will be healthy. But why are you really doing this? Today I had a conversation with a mom, one of my clients, and we were talking, and I asked her this very question. I said, "What is your why? Like, why are you on this journey?" And she said to me, "Novella, because I don't want my daughter to not love herself and her hair. I don't want my daughter to grow up, wanting a relaxer. I don't want her to, want to be in weaves or wigs all the time, not because it's a choice, but because she feels like she has to. There's no other option because her hair isn't good enough. That's my why." And I thought, amazing, amazing. We share like very similar whys, and because of that why, that's why she even wants to, work with me. That's why she wants me to help her, because she sees a bigger picture outside of just length. If your why is just, you want your daughter or your son's hair to be long, um, it's not strong enough. Like I said, you will give up somewhere, some way on the journey. You're going to give up, or you're just going to turn to products if you believe products is the answer to length retention or hair growth. If that's what you believe, you're going to become a product junkie. You're going to be looking at products all the time because that's what you believe is going to get you there. So share in the chat, what is your why, mamas? Don't be shy, let me know, what is your why? No judgment on my side. What is your why? If you've just joined, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you on this natural hair journey for your little one or for yourself? Why are you doing this? Drop it in the chat and let me know. But that was the main reason why I came on this evening, just to kind of get you to think about this, think about your why you're doing this, and to ask yourself if your why is even strong enough. That's the reason why I came on tonight. So hopefully I've given you something to think about tonight. Oh, you're typing away. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let me know, what is your why? Let me know what your why is. Don't be shy. Let me know what your why is in a comment. Why are you on this natural hair journey for your little one? And of course, if you have any other questions outside of this, feel free. This is your opportunity to ask me anything. If you're struggling with anything, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to answer. And if you're watching the replay, let me know what your why is, okay? Let me know your why. Why are you actually on this journey for yourself or for your child? Why are you doing this? Let's see. I want my daughter to take pride in her hair. I got so much opposition to going natural, so I want her to love her hair as it's growing from her head. I love that, Miss Monique 27. I love that. I really, really love that. I love that. It's funny you say you got so much opposition to going natural, because when I decided to go natural, I remember I said to a couple of my friends and family members, I told them, I don't know why I did this, but I told them, I said to them that, I want to go natural now. I didn't tell them the exact reason why. I just told them that I want to go natural. One of my cousins, she said to me, "I don't think you should." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "You're not going to be as pretty anymore." And I just thought to myself, what does that even mean? I'm going back to being natural. The hair that God has given me. Hi, Francesca. The hair that God has given me, I'm going back to that. And I'm not going to be beautiful or pretty anymore. I was so baffled by that. And then one of my auntie, sorry, I went to her and I told her as well. And she said to me, "Don't do it." And I said, "But why?" And she said, "Because um, you're going to look crazy." So in my language, she said that you're going to look like a bodam, 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 which means crazy. And I was just like, what is going on? my natural hair is going to make me look like a mad person. I was so taken aback. Hey, Audrey. I was so taken aback by that comment. I was just like, wow. And I remember I said to my mom as well, I said to my mom, I'm going back to being natural. She was like, okay, cool. But what are you going to do on your wedding day? And I was just like, what is these questions? I was just so baffled. But yeah, that was my last stop. I was like, I'm not even gonna talk to anyone about this. I know why I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do it. I remember even when I met my husband back then, this about 13 years ago when I met him, I told him that, I'm going back to being natural. So if he doesn't like women who are natural, then I'm not the one for him because that's what I want to do. And he said to me, I have no problem with you going natural. Like, I actually love women with natural hair. And I was like, cool. But trust me, if that day, if he had said to me, he doesn't like girls with natural hair, we wouldn't be together because I was so determined to going back to natural. Yes, that thing that I hated before, this time round, I was so determined to make it work and to go natural simply because of my children. Simply because of my children. Kemi, my why is mainly for my girls to love who they are, very similar to yours, to love their hair, love their blackness, and also have healthy hair. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing, Kemi. And because of this, you can't give up. This why is big. You can't give up. No matter how hard it gets, you have to keep going. You know, I love that, Kemi. Um, Audrey. I am very well, thank you, Audrey. Lovely to have you on tonight. My why is so that my daughter will not depend on wigs and relaxers. I want her to have long, beautiful, natural, healthy hair. See what I mean? That's amazing. Another amazing thing. So it seems like we all share, very similar whys, very, very similar whys. For you, mamas on the live right now, do you remember your experience with your natural hair when you were growing up? Was it a good experience? Was it a bad experience? Let's chat. Like, what was it like growing up? I've shared mine. If you missed it, my experience wasn't great at all. I hated my natural hair. I was always in pain. I remember my mum would always blow dry my hair every wash day. I didn't really wash my hair that often, to be honest. But any time I did wash my hair, it was tears and pain. Like, what was your experience growing up? Let me know in the comments. What was your experience growing up? Was it a good one? Was it a bad one? How was it? I remember when I finally got my relaxer at 16, like I said to you before, I was really, really happy. I felt beautiful. I felt pretty. That was short-lived. My relaxed hair became very thin. It started to break. I started to get burns on my scalp each time I went for a relaxer. Yeah, it just weren't doing me well. It weren't doing me well. Like I remember the first time I relaxed my hair seemed much more fuller. It was much more longer. And then just over the years, it started getting shorter and shorter. And then my hair in the hairband started to get much smaller and thinner. It was really bad, really, really bad. But yeah, what was your experience growing up as a child with your natural hair? If you've just joined, welcome, welcome. What was your experience with your natural hair growing up? Was it a pleasant experience? Was it a bad experience? What was it like? Let me know. I hated my hair. The more I could hide it, the better it was for me. Yep, yep. Same here. Same here. I always wanted extensions. Even when I was like an adult, um, I always had extensions. If I did show my hair, you would only see it in a slick back ponytail. Like you wouldn't see my hair out. You wouldn't see my hair out. It would either be in a slick back ponytail. I would have extensions. As I got older, yeah, you just wouldn't see my hair, to be honest. You wouldn't see my hair at all. I'm from a family with women with 4A and 3A hair. It was tough. Yeah, yeah. So are you saying, Francesca, that your hair was maybe the most kinkiest out of all of theirs, or why did you dislike or hate your hair so much? It's so amazing how we all like share similar experiences when it comes to our hair. Force. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, it's so amazing how we all share similar experiences. So you were the one of the tightest curl pattern, Francesca. That is so hilarious. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard, and also my parents' comments on it as well. Yeah, that doesn't help as well. That doesn't help. Like when people say to me, it's just hair. That just makes me laugh because it's not just hair. It's not just hair. Like it's important. It's important. It plays a big, big part or role in our lives. Like it's not just hair. It's not just hair. How can I, just because I didn't like my natural hair as a child growing up, how can all of a sudden my confidence be so low? How can I all of a sudden feel like I'm not beautiful just because of my hair? And then all of a sudden, when I perm my hair and got straight hair, all of a sudden I feel beautiful. I feel like I'm now going to be accepted in this world. It can't just be hair. It's not, it's much more deeper than that. Kemi, I had a low cut throughout my childhood. My mom couldn't deal with it as she said I had sensitive scalp. Okay. My secondary school also demanded a low cut. As an adult, I did everything to um, my hair, including lock it. Oh, yes, locked your hair. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, and that is actually quite popular. I mean, I'm from Ghana, and I know in Ghana, I had aunties who couldn't really manage or handle their children's hair, and the easiest option would be to cut it. And especially because going to school, they would have to cut their hair anyway. It was kind of like, yeah, let's just cut it because they couldn't deal with it. So yeah, that is quite common. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing this. This is really, really insightful. Okay, so ladies, do you have any questions for me? Any burning questions? Anything you are struggling with that you want me to kind of answer for you or shed some light? Miss Monique, I had a lot of hair and it was very long. I remember hearing comments about how if it was too much work, hairdressers refused to do my hair because it was too much, which led to relaxers. Yeah, that's also quite a common thing as well. Also quite a common thing. That is actually funny you say that. Like even from hairdressers who refuse to do your hair because you have so much hair, they clearly didn't understand how to deal with natural hair. That's why they didn't want to do your hair and how much work it was. Yeah, that's not very nice. That's not very nice. I remember actually there was one time I was walking in Peckham, the UK, in London, Peckham, and I passed this hair salon. And it was an African woman, and she said to me, "Do you want to do your hair?" And I said, "No, I'm okay, thank you." And she said, "Are you sure?" I just had a braid out at that time. Just had a braid out, feeling confident, in my natural hair. And she asked me if I was sure that I didn't want to get my hair done. Like, I didn't tell you I wanted to get my hair done. I didn't walk into the salon to get my hair done. So why are you asking me if I'm sure if I want to get my hair done just because you see my natural hair out in its full glory? Very, very weird. Very, very weird to me. And even I remember like even going to hair salons to do my hair. Um, it was never really a great experience with my natural hair. With my permed hair, it seemed like the hairdressers could handle my hair way more than when I was natural. When I was natural and I would sit in their chair, the way they would even blow dry my hair, there would be no sections. The combs, the tools that they'll use on my hair, like they would use fine tooth combs. Like, how are you going to use that on my natural hair? Like, no wide tooth comb, maybe that will help you better. No, it's just like they just don't get it. They just don't get it. So because I've had like so many bad experiences with hairdressers, I don't trust any. I don't trust any. Like, I've never taken my children to a hair salon, not because I don't want to or I don't want to break. It's just because I don't trust any hair salon out there unless I can find one that I can trust and that I know that I can, leave my children's hair in their hands just for that one time or occasionally. I'm happy to just do my children's hair. I'm completely happy. Francesca, okay, my daughter's going through a dry phase. I don't really know why. I do everything that you taught us. Maybe it's because her hair is changing. She's turning 3 months or 3 years. I'm thinking 3 years. Okay, so at 3, usually by three, 4, they get in their permanent hair texture. Usually around that age, they should be settling down into their permanent hair texture. Now, if you feel like 3 years, okay, cool. So if you feel like you're doing everything, but her hair is still dry, I would say check your products properly. It could be that you're not using the right types of products. It could even be something as simple as you don't have the right regime in the needs of your little one, your daughter. It could be as simple as that. So the regime, the types of products you're doing. It could also be that even what you consider dry may not actually be dry. And I'll explain that for you. So I've had clients that I've worked with and they say to me, oh my goodness, Novella, my daughter's hair is so dry. And I'm like, compared to what? Or how do you actually know your little one's hair is dry? Like, what are you basing that on? And they're not really sure, like, what it is, And I say to them that sometimes I've worked with clients who they've said to me that the little one's hair is dry, but in actual fact, it isn't dry. So I give an example. With my daughter, my firstborn, and my son, their hair type is completely different. My daughter's hair, it feels more, it's more softer to the touch. It feels more silkier in comparison to my son's. She has a different curl pattern. Her hair is slightly more curlier than my son's. Now, when I feel my son's hair, his hair has a bit of a roughness to it. It has a bit of a roughness to it. It feels a bit stringy, but that's just his hair type. So I remember, like, in the beginning of this journey, with my son, I was a little bit frustrated because I expected my son's hair to behave exactly like my daughter's. The way my daughter's hair felt in my hands, my son's hair felt the complete opposite. So anytime I would do my daughter's hair first and then I'll touch my son's hair, I'd be like, your hair's so dry, like, because it doesn't feel like my daughter's. But then I realized that I was being a bit unfair. I was doing him a disservice because I was not accepting his hair for what it was. His hair has a slight roughness to it. It doesn't feel soft like my daughter's softness. His hair has his own unique softness with a roughness to it. So once I accepted what his hair was for what it was, and started taking care of his hair started to thrive. I was no longer frustrated because I understood what his hair is supposed to feel like. Now, if I describe his hair, he has high density hair, so he has a lot of individual strands on his head. But then if you take one strand of hair, the strand of hair is thick. So he has thick strands, high density hair. Those who tend to have thick strands, their hair feels slightly rough to the touch. That's completely normal. There's nothing wrong with your child's hair. It's completely normal. Those that have, like, for example, very fine individual strands or very thin individual strands, their hair tends to feel a bit more, softer. more silkier in comparison to someone who has very thick strands. Like, for example, have you ever felt, okay, my legs are hairy. I have hairy legs, okay? And the hairs on my legs are very thick and black. So if you were to feel the hairs on my legs as it's growing out, let's just say I haven't shaved or nothing, it would feel quite rough and bumpy. However, you have those women who have hairy legs too, but the hairs on their legs are very thin and fine. So when you feel the hairs on their legs, it feels quite smooth too. If you were to look at them from a slight distance, you wouldn't be able to see any hairs on their legs because their hairs are so fine or so thin. But then take me, for example, if my hair starts growing back on my legs, you would see it very visibly that my legs are hairy and I need to shave. So why am I even telling you this? I'm telling you this because I want you to know what your daughter's hair is actually supposed to feel like. Know what's actually supposed to feel like. And the best way to do this is, for example, on wash day with her shed hair. So once her hair has shed, any hairs in the comb or brush, leave it to dry, rinse it, leave it to dry. Once it's dry, feel the actual hair, the shed hair. What does it feel like with no product on it at all? What does it feel like? What does it look like? Does it have sheen to it? Is it shiny? Or does it have like a matte appearance? How does it feel? Does it feel a little bit rough? If it feels that way, that's how her hair is supposed to feel. Now, when you feel her hair, when her hair has products on it, is a completely different feel. When you add products to your little one's hair, it's going to feel a bit more smoother. It's going to feel a bit more softer because now you've added products to the hair, which is supposed to soften the hair and make the hair feel smooth. But if you can actually know what a hair is supposed to feel like, and what a hair feels like with products, once the product starts to evaporate and the moisture starts to evaporate from your little one's hair, it's going to feel like how that shed hair felt with no product. So that's something I always tell my clients, like, know exactly what their hair feels like. So when it's dry, it's not necessarily that it's a problem. Their hair is going back to what it's supposed to be. And naturally, our hair is dry. Naturally our hair is brittle. When there's no moisture in it, it starts to feel brittle, it starts to feel hard. That's natural. We use products to take us away from that natural feel. We use products to make the hair feel smooth, to make the hair feel soft, to give the hair a bit of sheen or shine to it. So once you start to understand what your daughter's hair is actually supposed to feel like, then you can determine whether her hair is actually dry or not. And then if you know what her hair feels like, then now you need to start looking at your products. Are you using the right types of products? Are you moisturizing often enough? What are you actually using to moisturize the hair or condition the hair? What are you using? All of these things are important. What ingredients are in the products? If you don't know these things, you're going to be going around in circles because you don't actually know what is the cause of how your daughter's hair feels at a certain time. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that's helpful. So normally her hair looks dry, but when you touch it, it's nice and soft. Now it's just dry. I will check my products. Check your products. Check if you've used anything new. And that looking dry is also very normal. There are children whose hair looks dry, but when you touch it, it's very soft. It feels very nice. So maybe you've tried a new product, or maybe there's something in your regime that you're doing that you've changed slightly, something you're using that's different, that now her hair doesn't feel like it used to feel. So I would go back and check through what you're doing. If you're someone who has like a hair journal or planner, definitely refer back to it to see what you've done previously, what you've used previously. That's why I love like my hair planner, because I'm able to really write everything I'm using each wash day. So when something's not right, I just refer back to my planner to see, okay, this is what I did the last wash day, this is what I used, and I'm able to identify what the problem is quite quickly because I'm able to refer back to my previous wash day or my children's previous wash day. Her hair's gotten thicker. That's good. That's good. Kemi, I used to take my kids to stylists before COVID, but since COVID, I've looked after their hair, which can be a lot for me due to work pattern. However, I'm so petrified to take them to a stylist. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when it comes to work, it is a lot because you have that to juggle. You obviously have a home, you have to cook, you have to clean. It can get a lot. It can get a lot. I mean, look, I'm a mother of three, you know. I have a husband who's like my fourth child. You know, I have to cook, I have to clean, and sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Yes, sometimes I'm overwhelmed. But for me, it's so important for me to plan. Like I've showed you guys several times, like I have my planner. Whereas if I can find it, I have my planner for my hair. So my hair planner, this is for my hair. And then I have my personal planner for my life, which has my kids on there. And I have my personal planner. So these two planners is what I use to plan our hair and my life, basically. Without these two, I would be all over the place. I'm being honest with you, I would be all over the place. So for me, when it comes to our hair, I use my hair planner to plan the whole month. So I know when I'm washing the hair, when I'm moisturizing, it's in there because this stage of my life, I'm quite forgetful. I don't know what it is. I don't know. After I had my children, I've become very forgetful. So I don't know when I'm doing what. So I put everything in my planner and then I refer to it, you know, to know what I'm doing this week or next week. So I know what I'm doing. And that just really helps me to keep organized. And also, if there's any like events or anything like that, it's all in the planner. So I know how to kind of plan our hair days so that we can make our events or whatever. And then when it comes to my life, again, everything's in a planner. So I know what I'm doing for this week. Whether it's cooking, I'm bulk cooking. Maybe like on a Monday, I'll bulk cook for the whole week. Those kind of things help me to be more organized and to also fit hair days in. So I'll say for you, if you don't have a planner, get a planner. Like I have a planner that I've just showed you, the natural hair planner for moms, that's available on my website. I also have this in PDF form. I know a lot of you requested for this to be in PDF form, especially my mom is overseas. It's now available in PDF form. So if you want a PDF form, it's available. And if you want the hard copy, that's also available. But I would say really take time to plan because you work. And I know you're committed to the hair journey. You've already told me your why, so I know why you're doing this. So now you just have to become even more organized because you work. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. But yeah, becoming more organized, know what you're doing when you're doing it. That will really save you a lot of headache. Trust me. But yeah, I get your fears with stylists. I have the same fears. Audrey, my daughter's hair is so dry and really short at the back. Please help. What products do I use? I've changed her products 4 times now. Okay, so when it comes to products, I can't recommend any products on this live. If I was to just say products, I would literally just be just guessing. Just guessing. When I'm recommending products to my clients, I go through several things before I'm able to get to the point where I can recommend products. So I have to understand what I'm actually working with, like my client's child's hair type. I have to understand the actual hair needs. And several other things before I can come to that conclusion of what products to use. But I'll say for you, if your little one's hair is really dry and really short, you need to go back to a drawing board. And you said you've purchased products 4 times now. The reason why this happens is because you don't actually know what type of products you need. Without knowing what types of products you need, you're just going to be purchasing anything anyone recommends, or anything someone says, oh, is a great product, you're going to go out and purchase it. We need to really go back to a drawing board and understand, what do I actually need in my little one's regime to meet their hair needs? And then also have a basic understanding of product ingredients. You don't have to be a, cosmetologist or a cosmetic scientist or a trichologist. You don't have to be anything like that. We just need to understand the basics when it comes to ingredients. Once you understand that, when it comes to picking products, it's so much more easier. So much more easier. And when you understand your little one's hair type, you're much more likely to find the products that will agree with their hair or that will give you the results that you're after. So understanding the types of products you need, basic ingredients, and then also having a regime to meet their current hair needs. Like maybe you're not washing little one's hair often enough. Maybe you're washing it too much, maybe not moisturizing often enough. So all of these things are important if your little one's hair is dry. And also bear in mind that depending on how old your child is, maybe they're going through a dryness phase. Let's just say your little one is 6 or 7 months. Maybe their hair is always dry because they're going through a dryness phase rather than you doing anything wrong. It's a dryness phase because their texture is changing, from very silky when they were newborn to more afro textured hair. So maybe that's another reason why your little one's hair is dry. So there are a lot of factors to consider. So me saying that I can't recommend products, I hope you don't feel disappointed or upset or anything like that. But I don't want to just throw products out there because once again, you're going to use it and it's not going to work because I don't understand your little one's current hair needs or anything like that to recommend products. But I'll definitely say go back to the drawing board. 5. Okay, so 5, she's not going for a dryness phase or anything like that. She's got her permanent hair texture. So now it's probably down to the product types you're using. And when I say product types, I'm not talking about specific brands. I'm talking about the type of product. So for example, your weekly shampoo that you're going to use on a regular basis. And then you have your clarifying shampoo that's going to be much more of a deeper clean. And then you have your deep conditioner, your moisture based deep conditioner that you're going to use to condition the hair afterwards. Then you have maybe, if you don't want to use your deep conditioner, you might have a rinse out conditioner for detangling purposes because it's probably going to give you a lot more slip. And then you have your moisturizing products, the products that are going to help to soften your little one's hair after you shampoo and condition the hair. You want something that's going to make the hair feel, soft, easy to manage. That's why you have like your moisturizers, your leave-in conditioners to make the hair feel smooth and easy to work with. But you need the right types of these particular products. And when you understand the basic ingredients and the type of products you need, you're able to find that product, especially understanding your little one's hair type as well and their hair needs. I hope that makes sense. Um, Her hair is dry and an itchy scalp. Yeah. So the itchy scalp, I've had clients who, they said to me, Novella, my daughter's the scalp is quite itchy. And I asked them, like, how often do you wash their hair? And they'll say to me, oh, like maybe every 3 or every 4 weeks, or, whenever I think it's dirty. That's why their scalp is itchy because you're not washing it often enough. There's a lot of buildup on the scalp. The scalp produces like natural oils, sebum, and then you have like environmental, dust and dirt as well that gets onto the scalp. And then if you have a child, they're probably rolling around on the floor as well. Like there's so much going on. And maybe, some of you, grease or oil your little one's scalp. Again, that's another layer of buildup. So most of the time, it's literally just product buildup because they're not washing the hair and scalp often or well enough, and that's why their little one's hair is itching, or they're applying oils and grease to the scalp, which is also causing the itching. Obviously sometimes it could be something else where you need to go and see a dermatologist or trichologist, but most of the time when I just tell my clients you need to wash way more than you're washing, like at least once a week for example, it pretty much solves the problem. When they're cleansing the scalp well, they're not adding oils, butters or grease to the scalp, literally the problem just resolves itself. So that could be the reason why your little one's scalp is itchy. So when it comes to how often to wash the hair, it really depends on your child. But ideally, if your child's hair is dry, every week, every week you should be washing the hair. So weekly. I always say every 7 to 14 days. You don't want to go past 14 days. So you don't want to go past 2 weeks, but every 7 to 14 days is ideal. For your little one, because her hair is dry right now, itchy scalp, I will go for weekly washing. Now, let's just say you do all of this and your regime is good, the types of products you're using is great, and her scalp is still itching. I would take her to go and see either a dermatologist or trichologist so they can have a look at her scalp and see if there's anything going on there, and then they'll be able to help you further, but weekly for sure. Okay, I hope that was helpful. My husband actually doesn't understand the importance of washing hair every 2 weeks, so I'm also educating him. I have a planner, but I'm yet to utilize it well. Oh, you have my planner. Oh, amazing, amazing. Thanks for purchasing. Yeah, to be honest, many people don't understand the importance of washing your hair as often as you mentioned, every 2 weeks. I know for me personally, when I was younger, my mum used to wash my hair every, I would say 2 months, you know, 2 months. Yeah, sounds disgusting now, but every 2 months, sometimes it would be even 3 months. Like if my hair wasn't dirty to her, if my hair didn't smell, why why are we washing it? And I know she felt like when the hair is dirty, your hair grows. That myth, she believed that as well. I remember actually back in school, I was so proud that I hardly washed my hair. I remember one time I went to my white friends and I said to them, how often do you guys wash your hair? And they said to me, oh, we wash our hair daily. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they said to me, how often do you wash your hair? And I said, every 2 months. And they were like, ew, every 2 months. And I was just like, you're the crazy one. Like every 2 months. Yeah, my hair don't smell. And it didn't. My hair didn't smell. But thinking about it now, that's so embarrassing. Like 2, 3 months, that's way too long. And also, I had eczema, so my scalp was quite flaky. My scalp was itchy as well. I remember my mum would grease my scalp as well, which made it 10 times worse. Um, but yeah, I was proud. I was proud to say that. But yeah, a lot of people won't understand. I mean, even for me, like people say, why do you wash your hair every 5 to 7 days? Like, isn't that too much? Isn't your hair going to be dry? No, it isn't. Your hair needs that moisture, like that saturation of water. Your hair needs it. It just makes the hair, flexible. It just gives the hair the moisture it needs, basically. And also on wash day, I always say to everyone, moisturized hair starts from wash day. That's where it starts. So if you're skipping out on wash day, and for example, you're always moisturizing your little one's hair, the hair will be dry because that's a lot of buildup. You're just moisturizing, adding more and more and more products, but skipping the washing. Let's just say you wash your little one's hair monthly, but then you moisturize their hair every day. That's a lot of buildup. Think about your skin. Can you imagine not having a shower or a bath for a whole month? But every day you're adding your moisturizer to your skin, eventually you're going to be really itchy. Eventually that buildup is going to be serious. Like you're not going to look good. Same thing when it comes to our hair. So eventually you're going to have to wash it to get rid of that buildup. So washing regularly is so, so important. So, so important. We don't want to wait until our little one's hair is dirty or until it smells. That's not the reason why you're washing it. You're washing your little one's hair to add that moisture to their hair. Moisture is the addition of water. We want the hair to be saturated with water. We want the hair to be clean. We want the scalp to be clean. That way, when you're adding products, your leave-in conditions, your cream is able to really stick to the hair, to do what it's supposed to do, smooth the hair, make the hair feel soft. You're going to get much more better results. And also on wash day, you're going to be, giving your little one's hair all the TLC it needs, the deep conditioning, the conditioning. The hair thrives. Like someone said to me, like, what is your secret to growing long hair? Washing my hair often. I wish I knew that back in the days. Like literally washing my children's hair often with the right types of products is the best thing ever. Like wash day is our reset day, the day that I'm able to reset everything, remove all of that build up, give their hair that moisture it needs, give the hair the conditioning, the treatments it needs. And then when I moisturize the hair just feels amazing. Amazing. Trust me. Thanks for sharing that, Kemi. Um, Exactly, exactly. And guys, our hair, when it starts to dry out, when the moisture, evaporates and the vamooses, our hair becomes so, so brittle. And when it's brittle, it's easily breaks when it's brittle. It becomes so stiff. Like I remember like there were times back in the days when I wouldn't moisturize my hair. I would wash my hair when I felt like it. And I could tell that my hair was very dry because there was no movement. Even if I was to shake my hair, like it wouldn't move. It would be so stiff. My hair would be like matted together. Like when I would feel my hair, I could hear it, the crunching. Guys, have you ever put an African sponge, an African net sponge into your palms and kind of just squeeze it? You know, it just makes a sound, but when the sponge is wet, you can't hear anything. That's how my hair sounded like when it was dry. I could hear the sound of my hair. Yeah, so don't ever let your little one's hair or even your natural hair get so dry that you can hear it. That is just too dry, too dry. When it's at that state, it becomes easily for it to break, very brittle, easy for it to break. And when it comes to length retention, it's going to be very, very difficult to see that length retention. Um, what do you think is the best age for blow drying? I say when it comes to blow drying, from the age of about 5, 6, I would say is an okay age because from 5, you're doing like protein treatments to help strengthen the hair. So I would say anything under than 5, I wouldn't. Like my daughter, she's 5. I've never blow dried her hair before. I'm gonna try and blow dry her hair for her 6th birthday, just so that we can see like how long her hair is stretched in a blow dried state. But yeah, I've never blow dried her hair before. But I would say in terms of when, from 5 or 6, I would say is a good time because then you can give the hair the right treatment it needs before you blow dry and everything. Yeah, I wouldn't blow dry under 5 years old for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't. Okay, mamas. Any other questions? And those that have just joined, welcome. Thanks for joining. You missed a big chunk of it. We were talking about our why we're even on this natural hair journey for our children, for ourselves. And I was just explaining that your why has to be bigger than, just length or healthy hair. Like, what is the real reason why you're on this journey? And a lot of us shared that we want our children to love their hair, love themselves, be confident, be unapologetic about it. That is a big reason, a big reason for me even why I'm doing it. Some of us, we don't want our children to relax their hair, very early or feel like that's the only choice because they don't love their hair, or to be so reliant on weaves and wigs. Now, guys, I'm not saying weaves or wigs are bad. I know some of you have relaxed hair and your hair is flourishing, that's fine. But those that have had bad experiences with relaxers, that's what I'm talking about, the bad experiences. I've had bad experiences with relaxers, so have some of the moms on this live. They probably also had bad experiences as well. So we're talking about the bad side of it. And we don't want our children to rely solely on relaxers or wigs or weaves. Yeah, we want them to be confident in their hair, and that's our why. And if your why is strong, you will stand the test of time when the going gets tough, because this journey isn't easy. There will be tough times, there will be setbacks. But if you know your why and if your why is strong enough, you're more likely to be successful. You're more likely to be consistent. You're more likely not to give up. And that's what I was talking about if you missed it. So, do you have any other questions or concerns for me? I will answer for you. Oh, also for I think it was Audrey. Yes, Audrey and Francesca. For those that have dry hair, the children that have dry hair, how much water are they drinking as well? They should be drinking a good amount of water too. Make sure that they're drinking a lot of water, a lot of water. um, what can I use to grow edges back? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. If If you're relying on something to help you grow your little one's edges back, you're going to waste a lot of money. You're going to waste a lot of money. There is no product out there on the market that can grow hair. Hair grows from inside out. So what I would focus on is what is going on in the inside. I would also focus on what are you doing in terms of styling. What styles are you doing? If you're doing styles that are causing tension, especially around the hairline, the edges is not going to grow back, or it will grow back but then break off again. And if you continue doing it, you can permanently damage the follicles, which you want to avoid. So I would say, what styles are you doing? Are you doing simple, tension-free styles? If that's what you're doing now, the edges are more likely to grow back. Also, what is happening internally as well. But at a young age, it's most likely due to your hair care practices. The styling. I find that that's the number one thing when it comes to edges with children, is the styles that the mothers are doing to their hair. And also at nighttime, like how you protecting your little one's hair and hairline. So there's some bonnets that I've actually got a video about this. Check out my video on YouTube. I've spoken about how to grow your little one's edges. But sometimes even the bonnets that your little one wears to bed, if the bonnets keep slipping backwards, so they're wearing a bonnet, but the bonnet keeps slipping backwards, their hairline will be rubbing on their pillowcases, and that's going to cause a lot of dryness and also breakage. So that's something to consider as well. But growing edges back is so simple. So simple. So simple, guys. Especially if the hair follicles on those areas aren't damaged. It's really easy. I mean, anytime I have lost my edges through, bad styling, hair care practices, bad styles, or through postpartum shedding, I've shared my journey on here as well. I've got a YouTube video on that. When I lost my edges, I literally just kept it super simple. No tight styles, no tension. When I would like deep condition or condition my hair, I'd make sure that I'm getting my edges. When I am moisturizing, making sure that I'm getting my edges. And that was it. At night when I'm going to bed, make sure that my satin scarf is on nicely. My edges are like protected. I'm putting my satin scarf like on my forehead. I have like a big forehead, a lot of space. So I put my headscarf like on my forehead here. So my hairline, everything is covered, and I go to sleep. And like within a short space of time, my edges have grown back. And even with my clients I've worked with, literally tell them keep it super simple, and all the other points that I've mentioned, and their little ones' edges have grown back as well. So growing back edges isn't difficult. But first you need to identify what you're actually doing or what is happening to make the edges break off or not grow back. Then you can kind of figure out what you need to do based on what you were doing in the first place, which is simply just stop what you were doing, and then you notice the edges growing back. Ponytails can cause breakage around the hairline, especially if the ponytails are tight. Now, see, for me, I like doing like sleek back ponytails. I love a sleek back ponytail, but my ponytails aren't tight. Like I'd wrap it in a hairband maybe like 3 times, and then it's sleek. But I remember back in the days when I was younger, when I wanted that sleek pulled back, like I would even get headaches from my ponytail because I would do them so tight, because I thought the tighter you do it, the sleeker it looks. Whereas that's not the truth. Like you can have a sleek bun, sleek ponytail, and it's not tight at all. And that's what I do nowadays. So if you're doing ponytails that are tight, it's going to cause tension around your hairline, and that's going to cause breakage. So if you like ponytails, you can do them, but don't do them tight. That's what I would say. And also be careful like what you're using to brush your hairline. Make sure that the brush isn't so hard that it's actually, breaking off your edges too. And yeah, and also switch between your styles. Don't always do ponytails, switch it up. Sometimes ponytail, sometimes something just very simple, single strand twist, sorry, something very simple. Rather than sticking to ponytails all the time. That's going to be a problem. eventually. I hope that helps, Kina. Anything else, ladies? I have really had fun speaking with you guys. Really enjoyed our conversation tonight. Let me know if you have any other questions. If not, I'm going to love and leave you. And as I mentioned in the beginning, for the mamas that are watching the replay, let me know what your why is. Why are you on this natural hair journey for you or your little one? Why are you doing this? Let me know. Okay, so it looks like you guys don't have any other questions. So I am gonna let you go. Thank you so much for joining me live as always, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye.